We were having this conversation, I think, yesterday. This idea, and I think I had brought it up on some other podcast, but the idea that this, if you're going to go out and fight, is that programmed into us? Is that just what we're raised with, that we think, hey, going out and fighting and being heroic, being a warrior is a cool thing, is a good thing? Or is there some sort of genetic component to it, because as a human being in a group of other human beings that are trying to survive 10,000 years ago, and we're part of a gang, we're part of a tribe, and if Jason is the kind of guy that goes out and, you know, kills a buffalo or defends our tribe, then you help us all survive. And so we naturally, intuitively, instinctively elevate the people that are ready to fight, and we can't even control it. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, it's interesting because the good hunters also translate to their good warriors, right? But then in their society, in the Lakota society, the medicine men were also revered as well. So I guess people were elevated based on whatever they brought to the community with large, and then oftentimes with either the medicine men or the warriors, eventually you age out of it. And then they're looking at you for your wisdom.
Yeah. You know,
like Chamberlain, that guy comes over from like the intellectual side of the house because he's a college professor when he joins the Army. So it's kind of like he wasn't really, that's what makes him so interesting and so cool, is he's like good at everything. Yeah. Every side of the Rubik's Cube you examine with that guy, he's squared away.
It's solid colors.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, you have all these different societies around the world that are, some of them are totally disconnected from other societies. And there's like always a warrior tradition.
Yes.
It leads me to believe that at least at some level, human beings look at the person that's ready to stand up and fight and defend, and they have an instinctual, inherent elevated attitude towards that person. Here, this guy's 6 years old, you know, I'm thinking, and he's hearing these stories and thinks it's cool in the parlance of our time, right? Like, hey, wow, this sounds cool. What was I doing when I was 8 years old? Watching Apocalypse Now, thinking that's cool. That guy, he's special forces. He's going on this mission up the river. That's cool. I don't know. I mean, my dad wasn't in the military. There was my grandfather was, but he wasn't super influential in my life. And all of a sudden, as just instinct, that looks cool.
Yeah, because it doesn't appear to be generational. Even in this case, Crazy Horse's dad is a medicine man. He's not a fighter.
Yep.
And so, you know, you look at how we revere sports figures. In a lot of ways, they're warriors. You choose a sporting team, and they're the ones that are going out and doing battle with other sporting teams, and we're rooting for them, and there's who we're putting up on a pedestal for the most part. It's not that different than combat, which isn't going that on. It's an interesting thing to discuss.
Feels like there's an element of risk there too. Like so skill and then risk.
Yep. And sacrifice actually.
For everybody else.
Sacrifice for everybody else.
Yeah.
And there lies in why we hold up like that courage as being a value that we or something that we value, right? Is courage.
Yeah, like if you're, let's say, like I'm a 6-year-old or whatever, and you think of some guy who goes out and kills a buffalo and then brings it back or whatever, right? You think, man, if I went and tried to kill a buffalo, that thing's going to kill me, you know? So he's like good at what he does. He's risk dying. And then when he brings it back, it's for all of us. He's like hero, you know?
Right.
So kind of that's obviously like a metaphor, or the sporting teams and stuff, that's a metaphor essentially.
Yeah, that's a big
but
metaphor.
But it's the same thing though. Yeah, exactly.
But I think this is so obvious what we're saying. I guess my actual question is it instinctual? Is it like part of our nature that we, you know, it may or may not get, you know, expanded upon as we grow up? And some people, being a warrior is stupid. Why would you go out and sacrifice yourself for other people? Like, that's an attitude. So you can overcome this instinct, but it is kind of crazy to think, hey, this is the way many different societies from all different background all kind of elevate this warrior. Is it a natural animal instinct to think this person's going to protect the tribe, this person's going to help the tribe, this person's going to feed the tribe, this person's possibly going to sacrifice for themselves for the tribe, and that's a positive thing, and we're going to elevate them?